Henry McClure live. Are we live yet? We're going to be live in a minute. Now we're live. Henry McClure live at the Glass Houses studio with breaking news. Topeka, Kansas is stonewalling. You know, I'm a real fan of boxing ever since I saw Cassius Clay boxing in the Olympics. No, I didn't see him. It was 60. But I do remember all the early films of him. Cassius Clay was absolutely, and still is to me, the best boxer. But later on in life, Muhammad, when he changed his name, he had a system. It was called a rope-a-dope. And he would just let people, just punch themselves out, right? Well, that's what Topeka government does to the citizens or anybody trying to make change. It's a rope-a-dope. Now, what I'm trying to do, let's break it right down to, let's make it all about Lawrence Bay for a minute. And so I attach from an earlier Cora request the almost $6-7 million in back taxes, right? I attached that request because when I ran for Shawnee County Commissioner over there trying to get Kevin Cook and the Three Stooges over there to be responsible, none of them, Rich Eckert, no, it's not our fault. The city of Topeka, he says, can actually collect the specials. See, since those aren't taxes, it's not our fault. We only collect the back taxes. Rich Eckert is a genius. Rich Eckert is a genius because he shirked responsibility. And I think that's what a lot of lawyers are great at. Lawyers are great at shirking responsibility and not living up to the truth. Excuse me, I got some of that Nero gum. All right, Henry McClure Live, Nero gum. They're not a sponsor yet of my show. But, so I get this answer from Mary Knuckleman, who I know, she's a nice lady. She's, I'd hire her before I'd hire Rich Eckert. I'd hire Vic Miller if he'd work for me, but he's still so angry. Okay, I digress. And you've seen a lot of that. Listen, this whole thing's with Lawrence Bay has gone on a decade. Taxpayers, you repaired that pond or that little lake over there. You repaired it. You've been keeping the bonds current. They did an industrial revenue bond, and then they put specials on properties that hadn't paid the specials in 5 years, 6 years. It's not the county commissioners, and I'll dig up Rich Eckert's letter that he wrote to the Attorney General because I was trying to call out the county commission because I wanted to sit where Kevin Cook sat. Yep, I sure did. And 9,213 of you agreed. Thank you. I love you people. And even if every one of those votes, the one vote, the 9,214, that was me, voting for me. But if you guys all came out against Kevin Cook, I agree with you. Because I think it's the county commissioners first. I think it's their duty to collect the taxes and the specials. But see here, we've got a bunch of mealy-mouthed politicians that won't do anything. Why would you continue to let one guy not pay? And this one guy, he said, well, I never intended on paying. The only reason he took over these properties is because he had to bail Gene Yanni out. And Gene Yanni Oh, and also, hey, Jimbo, I saw that you changed all the other LLCs. You know, like the Lots on Fairlawn is no longer. But hey, why not? Why not? You took my advice. Jimbo, if I could get the city to take my advice, and all I'm asking you to, and I'll put this in writing, just give us back the lots. Let's put them in the land bank. Spencer can take all your lots and put them in the land bank. Let's do that now. These are things, and Spencer, you could do this stuff now and be a real hero. You know, which is the point that the incumbents can be doing this stuff right now. And that's why you got to throw the incumbents out, because they're not doing their job. But if the county commission's not going to do it, and the county councilor is going to say, well, the city can sue for the specials, and then the city doesn't do it, well, it comes down now to the city manager. You know, he gets his job so he doesn't have to be in the fray. I mean, you got to blame, it's got to be somebody's fault. So anyway, and I'll post this in a minute. Mary Knuckleman sends me back the core request and says, this is how many man hours it's going to take. It's going to be $750 so they can start researching the city having tax sales. Well, look, rope-a-dope. It's a rope-a-dope. Hey, look, I know the city hasn't done tax sales because I gave you $7 million in proof. In fact, you guys were kind enough under Cora to provide me the proof. Do you guys see the insanity of this? And what they're counting on, and they're getting close, for me to start using my colorful vocabulary. Do you remember the exchange between Jane Curtin and Dan Aykroyd on the news? You know, that exchange they had? Because that's kind of what I feel about my feelings with the city of Topeka. A lot of nice people are wondering why I'm down on Cody Foster. Well, because he took $9.5 million a year tax money and put an NGO in business, enriched himself at your expense. I'll run the numbers. We'll figure out how much he could sell that building today. But I had to get on the phone, or I had to come live. I had to tell somebody. But I'll post this stuff up. Imagine. Hey, I wonder if there's somebody out there that would actually write the check for the $750 and say, well, you know something, I'd like you to do that research. Well, not me. You guys did the research, but nobody wants to take responsibility. You know, there are a lot of people, if I said, you know what, if you elect me as the mayor, I'm a vote to get rid of the city manager. Well, I will be that guy if I don't get a straight answer from the city. And anyway, it's his responsibility. If nobody in government is going to do the job, it's got to be somebody's responsibility. If elected, I'll make it my responsibility. I'm trying to make it my responsibility right now to bring awareness, because this has got to be the motivation for you guys to throw out the incumbents. We've got to get a whole slate of new people in there. Just remember, every time you hear somebody, we ought to have a strong mayor, form of government, that means they don't really like the city manager form of government. And there isn't anything I'd like to do than audit all the NGOs and audit the city of Topeka. There's just so much wastefulness in this. But the rope-a-dope. The rope-a-dope to actually send me back a notice to say, hey, $750. So if I send her the proof and she doesn't have to look for it, can I get a check for $750? No, but I don't want it because it'd be your money. But I need your help. You guys, if you see one little shed of truth in what I'm saying, I'm going to need your vote. I need those 9,213 people to come out and vote again. Grassroots effort. Hey, I'm reusing the signs. I got a bunch of cheap plastic that I'm spray painting. Saving money, doing things the way a conservative would do. And you know something? Maybe we could do that with the way we run Topeka. Maybe I want to get rid of the NGOs just so we can have better streets. Maybe if we weren't so top heavy in the water department, maybe we'd have cleaner water. You know, if we just get back to basics, think about it. The police, the existing police, go out to their car after their shift and their cars are vandalized. I mean, this town, we got it. You guys, I'm trying to shake you. I'm trying to wake you. I need your help. Henry McClure Live. If nobody's told you they love you today, I love you.